I never thought I'd find myself here, sitting in the aftermath of a 9-year marriage, trying to make sense of the pieces that no longer fit together. When we first met in college, it was like a dream, a connection so effortless, so sure. We were inseparable, finishing each other's sentences, dreaming of a future together. I thought we were building something unbreakable, but looking back, I see the cracks were always there, just waiting for the right moment to split wide open. From the very beginning, there was one part of our relationship that felt off. Physical intimacy was always a challenge. He called it a phase, something we'd grow out of, something that didn't matter as much as the deeper connection we had. And I believed him. I told myself that love wasn't about physical things. It was about partnership, trust, and shared dreams. So I buried the longing, the questions, the doubts, and focused on the life we were building. 9 years later, I realize how much I gave up to keep that illusion alive. It all came crashing down last year. I caught him red-handed, his lies unraveling in front of me, the weight of his betrayal crushing everything I thought I knew. He promised me he'd change, that we'd work through it, that he'd give us a year to fix what was broken, and I wanted to believe him. God, I wanted to believe him. I quit my job, packed up my life, and moved to a new city with him. I told myself it was for us, for our marriage, for the promise we made to each other. But deep down, I think I knew I was chasing a ghost, a version of him that didn't exist anymore, maybe never did. For a while, it felt like progress. He seemed committed. We had hard conversations, talked about trust, and made plans for the future. But something in me was always waiting for the other shoe to drop. And then one day it did. It was just a text message, a single line on a glowing screen that ended any doubt I had left. He wasn't trying to fix us. He was trying to end us. I stared at the words, my heart pounding in my chest, my mind racing through every sacrifice I had made to keep this marriage alive. All the nights I stayed awake, wondering if I was enough. All the times I convinced myself that love was supposed to hurt this much. All the years I gave, believing we were on the same side. And for what? For him to throw it all away with one text message? I haven't confronted him yet. What would be the point? I already know the truth. This isn't a marriage anymore. It's a slow unraveling, a story with an inevitable ending. And as much as it breaks me to admit it, I know I'm done. But this time, I'm not walking away quietly. For years, he denied me the intimacy and connection I craved, gaslighting me into believing it didn't matter. He robbed me of time, energy, and the best years of my life. And now, with his infidelity laid bare, he expects this to end on his terms? Not a chance. I've spent too long putting his needs above my own, too long convincing myself that love means sacrifice without limits. Not anymore. If this is the end of our story, I'm going to make sure it's a chapter he never forgets. I've already started preparing. I've spoken to a lawyer, outlined my case, and made it clear that I'm not interested in a clean break. He will pay for what he's done. To me, to us, to the life we were supposed to share. I want him to feel the weight of the choices he's made, to understand the cost of his betrayal. And yet, even as I plan for the future, there's a part of me that mourns what could have been. I think about the girl I was when we first met, so full of hope, so sure of her place in his world. She deserved better. I think about the years we spent together, the memories we made, the promises we whispered in the dark, and I wonder if he ever meant them, or if I was always just fooling myself. Moving forward won't be easy. There are days when the anger fades, and all that's left is the sadness, the aching loss of something I can never get back. But I've realized something important. I deserve more. More than his empty promises, more than his excuses, more than the hollow shell of a marriage he offered me. This isn't just about making him pay. It's about reclaiming my life, my voice, my worth. It's about showing myself that I am stronger than the pain he caused, that I can build a future without him, that I am enough. To anyone who's been through something like this, who's felt the sting of betrayal and the weight of heartbreak, know this: you are not alone. Your pain is valid, your anger is justified, and your healing is possible. Life after betrayal is messy and complicated and hard, but it's also full of possibility. And as I take my first steps into this new chapter, I'm holding on to the hope that better days are ahead. This isn't the end of my story, it's just the beginning.